evening, everyone. Welcome to your 360 Global Security Intelligence. I am Dakore, reaching out to you from the nation's capital, Abuja, Nigeria. On today's show, we'll be analyzing headlines from Monday to Friday with Collins Ejibola, our in-house national security analyst. Also, we'll be talking with HK Okpara, our global affairs analyst on the happenings around Myanmar. And finally, we'll be rounding up the show with Captain Atanda Fatai, retired and intelligence and security analyst and Democracy Society and the governance of security. Stay with us after this break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now let's begin the show with Monday to Friday newspaper review with Collins Ejibela that is actually standing by to feed us with more of the analysis going around the nation. Collins, if you can hear me now, let's begin. What's been happening? There's a lot of things that has actually happened from Monday to Friday, and then kindly feed us.
All right, thank you so much, Dakore. It's been a very uneventful week in Nigeria and across the globe. First and foremost, we have to start from the visit of the newly crowned WTO Director General, talking about our own Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who visited the president, the person of President Muhammadu Buhari, to thank him for nominating her for that very coveted position, and also the issue of the National Assembly imbroglio that is going on between some members of the House of Representatives concerning whether those who are based abroad have the right to actually send in petitions regarding the insecurity and other challenging issues bedeviling the country. And to crown it all, in Africa, we also got the news of the demise of the president of Tanzania, talking about Magufuli, who has been on the news for some time now, even before his death, because of the pandemic.
That's very much true, but can we move over to Punch? We have.
Well, it's been a very tough one because the numbers of countries that are turning down the AstraZeneca vaccine is on the increase, and that's actually raising some sort of concern for Nigeria and Nigerians, because people are beginning to have some kind of different opinion that if other countries whom we tag to be the elite countries, the developed countries, are turning it down, why is the country Nigeria now taking it? Is it that the government is trying to expose its citizens to perhaps danger? But that is far from it, because the government has come out recently and even over time to dissuade that opinion and that perception that the AstraZeneca vaccine is safe. And so far, so good. I think you must give it to Lagos State. I think as at yesterday, they have vaccinated over 12,000, except for Kogi State, according to the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, that said Kogi State has not received the vaccine because of the stance of the governor right from the time. So I think every other 35 states has received it, and so far, so good. I've had some friends, even in this industry, who has also received their own first jab, and I think so far it's been no negative effect for any of them.
Okay, all right. Coming for Wednesday, from these day newspaper headlines, we saw a headline that says trade restrictions policy to protect local industry. Emefiele tells Okonjo-Iweala. Now, a lot of things actually been going on in the World Trade Organization. They are proposing remedies, salvaging the whole trade security. Collins, could you tell what this means for Nigeria? Can you hear me, Collins?
Please repeat the question again.
Okay, I said coming for this day on Wednesday, we saw a headline that says trade restrictions policy to protect local industries. Emefiele tells Okonjo-Iweala, that's the CBN governor. Now, if we are going through the local way for trade industry, and Okonjo-Iweala is the World Trade leader from the World Trade Organization, that's the Director General. Now, what does this propose to Nigeria when it comes to this? If you are bringing up policies to protect
basis
local
of
industry,
this
what does this mean for Nigeria?
When the truth of the matter is, we must first and foremost realize that because Okonjo-Iweala is the Director General of the World Trade Organization doesn't mean that she has all the executive power. It is actually just like the secretary of the organization. You want to see, or perhaps one who mediates between countries, because you have other countries that form the board of the World Trade Organization. But be that as is made, that does not mean that she also doesn't have some kind of influence. But again, on our own part as a country, we must put policies on ground, policies that would perhaps promote the local trade industries, policies that will promote bilateral relationship with countries, so that Nigeria will not just be a country of influx. We have to also work on things that we can export, that will bring us the foreign exchange that we so desire, because that's the only way we can actually grow the economy. If we are here just talking about celebrating Okonjo-Iweala being the Director General of the World Trade Organization and not working anything, because during her visit, she actually told us some very salient and bitter truth that, look, yes, I am there, but you need to work. Some of the policies need to be reformed. Some things need to be put on ground for Nigeria to also be referred to also share what they share in the Committee of Nations. So first and foremost, we must do our homework very well here in this country. If we are to perhaps bring anything to her front to say, look, this is what we are proposing, can you help us push it through when it comes to the decision-making body at the WTO?
All right, let's move over to Daily Independent. I'm seeing a story here that says Forex shortage may grind aviation operations to a halt. Now, this is coming from Daily Independent. Collins, how will this affect national security? If everything on aviation operation is brought to a halt, what does this mean to national security?
It's going to portend a lot, because if you don't have a very secured border and point of entry and point of exit, you are open to and liable to prone of influx of all sorts of human beings. Like when the Nigerian president visited recently, and also when even Chambers visited the president just less than 72 hours ago, 48 hours. He said something very vital to say, look, except a country like Libya in Africa is stable, the influx of arms into all the other countries, it's one that you cannot stop. So if you don't have a very safe border, and most especially point of entry and exit at the airport, there is a tendency of everybody coming through every other loopholes and every loose point of entry and exit. And by so doing, you will not be able to checkmate those who go out and those who come into your country, because we've seen, kudos to customs, we've seen them arrest those who are importing arms and ammunition, even via the airport and sometimes via the waterways. But you definitely need a very secure border, most importantly, the land borders, the water borders, and also the air borders, which is very, very important if you must have a safe and secure country.
Okay, today Friday on Nigerian Tribune, we are seeing a story here that says AstraZeneca safe for use. This is coming from the European Union, the World Health Organization. They declared that it's actually safe for use. But then we've been seeing a lot of unconfirmed stories around the media, and then talking about the AstraZeneca vaccine quite dangerous for human. Now, what do you have to say about this, Collins?
Well, the research is still on until we get a very specific cure for the novel coronavirus pandemic. I think the vaccine is just one succor that scientists have actually brought our way now. Kudos to them. We must not just perhaps throw their efforts into the bin. We must commend them. We must applaud them for the initiative. Otherwise, perhaps by now, our own country like Nigeria might still be experiencing shutdown. But say for the vaccine, we are beginning to say, look, we are winning the war against the coronavirus. But having said that, I think on the part of Nigerian government, I'm very sure what is not good for the citizen. NAFDAC has come out to say, look, it's safe. The military agency and also the agency charged with the responsibility of taking it down, talking about the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, have also come out to say, look, this thing is safe. Yes, scientists and science, you continue to work and improve on results daily. But that is not to say that you should just throw every of the efforts of those who spend sleepless nights in the laboratories to say, look, it's not what it is. Other countries might have their own issues or perhaps concerns why they are shutting down. Remember that an African man is different from a Western man. Let me not use color now, because of our weather, our skin, the texture, and even the components of our body. So, for instance, we have malaria ravaging us here for years, and it's not so over there. So these are some of the differences definitely that will come to play. But that's not to say that generally, AstraZeneca vaccine, it's not safe. I think so far, like I said, 12,000 people that have received it in Lagos, I don't know, and I've not heard.
We seem to be having a little bit of technical issues. Until then, let's wait for Collins Ajibola to come back.
Of any negative story coming.
Okay, welcome back, Collins. We had a little bit of technical issue. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, all right. You were talking about we were actually talking about the AstraZeneca vaccine. Now, while the company is actually researching, and then these vaccines are being given to humans, how much do we have to wait? Talking about health security, do we have to wait and be taking the vaccine while the research is still ongoing?
Absolutely, that's the way it should. We just need to exercise that patience. First and foremost, like I said, I think we must appreciate the fact that we already have a so-called talking about the vaccine that has been produced for us to perhaps begin to know that there is actually a positive result in sight, or to bring to an end this novel coronavirus pandemic. So I think we need to just keep exercising the patient. While most importantly, now we have to get vaccinated and also follow every other government protocols, talking about COVID-19 protocols across wherever we might find ourselves. Avoid the large crowd. When you have notice any kind of symptoms, you report to the necessary authority, and also most importantly, if you have access, take the test, which is very, very important.